search button. What the fuck? There you go. HiBean. I'll see if there's any updates real quick. All right. Let me turn that screen back on. Okay, so it looks like HiBean is installed and everything looks good. So let's go ahead and open. All right, so this is all set up for the Skywalker V2. I'm gonna set this up for now, but for the V1. But let me close this screen off first. Then we're gonna go back to Windows. I'll put the link in here, but it's usually SkyWiki and then HiBean firmware installation. Here's the page for it. I'll link it in here. And I'll link it in here and to the chat as well. So first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead. We got the ESP32. You can zoom it in for my old man eyes. We'll go ahead and ensure you have it on ESP32. Good. Then we'll download the binary file, which should be the most updated one. And to check that, you can always go back into the HiBean area, and then it should say updated last month, which is the most recent update by, oh, there's another build that's been updated. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So Magnum, he's the new guy handling the HiBean stuff for now because he's a lot better programmer than I am. So he's doing all the hard work. He cleaned up a lot of my code and fixed a lot of. He optimized it a lot better than I could have ever optimized it, we'll say. So let's see. So we'll go here. Okay, so two differences. So I know he's been working on the PID formulas and stuff, so he put that in here. But you could still use this one and connect in general. So if you want to try out I think all the PID work that he's been doing on it, we could do this one. So let me install this one then. And all these files are there for those people who want to edit them or maybe improve the code. That's up to you. You can always do that. I just ask that you, if you do update it and it works really well, that if you could release it out publicly, that'd be awesome. And here are all the commands if you want to try it out. There's a developer mode within HiBean that you could use to chat these or type these in if you want to do it manually, but we have it set up to where it should work with all the HiBean controls, I think. But this is the way they kind of wanted to set up when you're doing like hardware PID. All right, so this was updated 2 weeks ago. So I'm just going to download this bin file. Good. Or you could download this bin file. Doesn't matter. It just depends on what features you want. But same install process. So using Chrome. They recommend Chrome and Edge, apparently. I don't know about Safari. I haven't tried it with Safari. I have a Mac now. I rarely use it. So yeah, let's go to ESP Home. Then we'll go to Connect. You should see something called USB JTAG Serial Debug. It should look just like this. So we click on here. Or if you want to test it, like if you have it unplugged, I'll unplug mine right now. And I'll hit connect. You'll look at the list. Oh, you know what? Hold on. It's not coming up on here. I'll have to do an OBS window mode. Hold on. Let's turn that off. Display capture. There we go. Nope. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Here you go. So we'll start off like we haven't plugged it in yet. So if you want to know if it's working, you can hit this connect button, and then it'll give you a list of everything it says here. Usually it has something like JTAG or whatever. So I have it unplugged. Obviously it's not there. So let's plug it in. So I plugged it in. Hit connect. And you'll either see USB JTAG serial debug unit. If you have plugged it in and for some reason this still doesn't show up, then what you have to do is hit the boot button. There's two buttons on this little unit. There's two buttons on here. You'll usually say like boot and reset. So what I want you to do is when it's plugged in, hold boot, hit reset. Let go. You'll hear your computer go ding ding ding, and then it's like, okay, it's right there. It should show up. Or you can always have it unplugged, hold boot, hold the boot button, just like that, and then just plug it in with the USB, and it should go into that USB debug mode. I forget what it's called. DFU mode? Yeah, then it should go to like the DFU mode. Okay? So people get hung up on there a lot, so. Let me get this stupid autofocus to work. So I need to get a Sony camera. Fine. I guess it won't work. Anyways. So boot button's usually on that side, depending on if you have a different model or whatever, or it's on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna plug this in. I'm gonna just hold on to boot. And then we'll go back to this window. Connect, USB, JTAG, serial unit debug. So I'll click on this, I'll hit connect, and we'll keep following the instructions. So we download this, and we clicked on the download button, save to computer, using ESP Home Web. Data cables are really important. Some data cables look fancy and they're USB-C, but they only have two cords in there, which is just power and ground. So you got to find one with all the data cables in it too. A lot of people get tripped up on that. They're like, oh, it's not working. HiBean's not working. And it's like, oh, yeah, I think you're just using a USB cord with literally just two wires in it. So that happens too. All right, so follow the instructions on ESP Home webpage, click connect. We did that. This one right here, JTAG. All right, now we install by the binary. So wherever you downloaded your binary to. So we'll do. So we did that. So we'll hit install. Then you're going to choose your file. And then, if it's in your download folder, it's right in there. So you just can double click on there and choose install. And then wait. Takes a bit. And wait, and wait. And wait, and wait, and wait. And wait. It's taking a bit, but it's okay. Congratulations. It has installed. All right. So you finish that. See what other instructions are left. I think that's it. Install, binary link, troubleshooting stuff, so flashing errors. I know some units, you flash it, something goes wrong and the lights don't turn on. It's probably because you put an old firmware on there. So just download a new one and Magnum fix the code for that. So I think it's the wave share zeros that usually have that issue, where the lights don't come on after you flash it once. So he fixed that. And then let's hook it up. I'm just going to move this power plug closer because I don't have enough plugs in my house. I'm using a big old extension. I'm going to plug this in. All right, so I think people HiBean did some testing with the smaller ones. That there's a little bit of interference when you get really close to you bring the unit really close to the power source or the metal case. It causes some interference issues. So I'm gonna just have it on a USB cord and bring it out a little bit further. All right, so now let's transition into the tablet. So let me put the tablet back on. There we go. All right, so now I'll put the unit in and I'm going to click here. I'm going to scroll down on your tablet and we're going to go ahead and look for pick Skywalker. This is kind of the biggest change I've been throwing people off. There's Skywalker HB and there's Skywalker's community. So HB is their unit now because they're going to start selling units. And that's okay. They're going to start selling units. They had a lot of success with the community edition, um, but they can't be responsible for DIY one. So at least they give you the option to have one where you don't have to do exactly what we did. And their code, I think, is a little bit more improved. They're using expressives, whatever code. I'm not sure. I'm not very technical savvy about it, but because I know we're just using Arduino IDE and then just slapping in C or whatever. So, but for us, we choose comms, and for when you buy their unit when it comes out, I think it's going to be like $50 or less, but it comes with a copy of comes with a copy of HiBean. HiBean is not going to be free forever. They obviously need to make money, so that's fine. But they are giving us the opportunity to keep the community version open because it was literally a few of us wanted HiBean on there, and I forced myself to learn the code to bridge both Skywalker to the ESP32, and a lot of people like Cam and everybody else helped. So I'm very happy that at least they're going to keep that option open instead of just saying thanks for all the help, but you go away now. We have our own unit that you can buy. So they're giving us two options. And I'll just say probably more than likely their version will be a lot more stable than ours because ours is literally ran by the community and they have like professional coders for their units. So either way, it's good for us. We have a solid roasting program. And there's also Artisan too. So we have Artisan. If for some reason they decide to charge an astronomical amount for HiBean, then I'll more than likely switch to Artisan again. But anyways, yeah, you want to choose Skywalker Com. And this is the default. For some reason, I just kept the default name ESP32 Sky Command BLE. Bearing success, hit complete. Sometimes you have to re-click it, give it a few minutes. I know a lot of people will panic, but if you just go over here and click connected, it should come. But if you also have debug, it should turn on. But if you have debug mode, you could hit that and see what's going on. And I'll kind of explain what we're looking at here. So this is the TC4 protocol. It just sends like these numbers in this exact pattern, and they all correlate to either bean temperature, setting, like the first one's usually setting a channel. I forget what the purpose of those. The first number, second and third number are usually bean temperature, and then the other numbers correlate with like I want to say heat and exhaust. It all depends, but you can customize it to what you want to and how it is to read. But there is a protocol out there that has that, like the channel first and then the bean temperature and ET temperature. I think it's ET temperature first and then bean temperature as the second digit or the second set of numbers. So anyways, all right, let's get to roasting. So go to device. Actually, I probably should test out if it works because there is a few issues sometimes where you'll have long 30-second delays. That's not good. Well, usually when that happens, if you have those 30-second delays, when you hit like, I don't know, let's say we hit something loud like drum. If you hit that and it takes like a good, more than like 5 seconds, you probably have just unplug the unit and plug it back in because there's something wrong. It should be fast. Like as soon as you click it, you should hear the drum motor turn on reasonably quick. If it has a little bit of a delay, then I would just restart the whole unit by unplugging it from maybe leaving it unplugged for a few seconds and then plugging it right back in. But you also just want to make sure everything works. Just all auditory tests. Good. And then a visual test for the heater. You should usually hear the thyristor click. That means it's turning on, but it's at 100%, so just turn it back off. All right, so kind of verified that all those work.